live on the Twitches, on the Facebooks, and on every other streaming site, which I won't say what I said all the ones in Discord because, well, I like being here. How are we doing, brother?
It's another Monday, and it's
another
Monday. The day before preview season starts, so I'm super hyped.
Yes, but we got a pretty good show tonight, so hold on, let me take a level on the sound effect. There it goes. That's going through my recorder. All right, so that's good to go. We have our notes up. We have our deck lists up. Tonight's show is going to be exciting, so this is going to be good. So, all right, let's take a look here. Oh, by the way, they hear your audio on the countdown. I got to figure out a way to remove that, so, never say anything during the countdown you don't want them to know. Okay. Keep your racist rants off the countdown. Okay. The Mothership, Straw, you can watch us on Twitch. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us anywhere, dude. So anywhere is the Mothership. It's a streaming
platform, yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much stream to all of our platforms. So woohoo, yippee skippy, yippee ki-yay. And
then if you miss it, you can download it on your mobile device.
Yes, because we do a podcast. It's really what this is all about. Okay, so... All right, so let me pull up my recorder. My recorder's armed and ready. I've got the deck list up. I've got my browser open, I think. I do have a browser. Hey, babe. That's just that. Wait, do I have the other windows? Okay. I was like, wait, I had a whole bunch of windows open. We don't need Patreon open. Don't need the Anchor site open. Don't even really need Restream open. So just ZR. Okay. I don't know how people do this without 3 or 4 monitors, man. I've got the Mac up top and then 3 monitors down below. I do not know how people do this without that.
They have a third person behind the scenes doing all this nonsense.
Oh, hello, Pam. Hello, Cobra. Okay. So I think we're ready. Let's get this. Yep. Let's get this road on the show.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got my finger over the red button. Double check the sound on our... Actually, that was really quiet last week. Hold on a second. Let me pump that up before we begin, because I listened to it later, and I was like, ooh, that was really quiet. Yeah, I'm going to pull the...
It's funny how our sounds never stay, consistently at the same level.
That's a little too loud. That's a good level. Check. Okay, so I'm watching the bars on my recording software, and that's about where I want it to be.
Okay.
That seems pretty good, right?
Yeah, seems fine to me.
Alrighty. Stream Deck, ladies and gentlemen, all provided by our patrons, whom I love dearly, because believe me, you have no idea the level of MacGyver shit we had to do to make this thing run before that. I had 2 laptops, not seeing you all on Twitch for some reason. And that was it. What?
Oh, buttons were not pushed. Levers were not pulled.
No, buttons are pushed. Ah.
Last Straw is on Twitch.
Maybe refresh the page, brother man. Yeah, I see me on Twitch too.
Last Straw is on Twitch.
Yeah, Last Straw's on Twitch. Maybe Johnny,
refresh the page.
Oh, now you guys are going to hear it because it's coming through my headphones. That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Twitch is being twitchy.
Yeah. As am I as well. Wow, that was a lot of as, ams, and wow, that's a whole lot of 2-letter A words, Cobe. What are the fee? All right. I don't think I could say that again. I definitely can't say it before, I could say it now, but then, after this, who knows?
As I am as well?
As am I as well. As I am as well.
As am I as well. As am I as well. As am I as well. As am I as well. As am I as well.
What those words mean. All right. So my finger's over the red button. I got to remember there's a countdown here. So we do the countdown, but you don't care.
Yeah. The button thing. Clicky.
Yeah. All right. So I'm over the button. 3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my... Gosh, I really love beating up on people in Friday Night Magic with my deck co-host, Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir?
There were no survivors. I crushed everyone in my path.
I find that very, very easy to believe. But let's get, we have a full show tonight. So, all right, before we begin, we want to remind you this week and every week, we like to remind you that this episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday, we hope, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. With locations in both Poughkeepsie, New York, and in Catskill, New York, Kerwin's Galleria is 100%, or Kerwin's Game Store is 100% the best place in gaming. They do have a great website. You should go check it out. We have a nice promo code for it. It's at KGS Online. That's Kite Go Sammy Online.com. And if you put in the promo code PlanesTalkers2020 at checkout, you get 5% off any online order, including your pre-order of Zendikar Rising. So you're going to want to do that. It's KGSOnline.com. But
Yes.
we wouldn't want to start the show without also recognizing our Planeswalker level patrons. Matt, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, Ian, Walter, George, Josh, Jonathan, Dave, and Zach, and our brand newest and awesome Planeswalker level patron, Brian. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you guys coming behind us here and helping us out. We couldn't do this without you. Welcome aboard. We really appreciate everything you guys do. These are the people that really help us put the show together in so many ways. If you want to get into these drawings, just go to https://patreon.com/planestalkers. In fact, we're going to have to schedule our call soon, aren't we? Our September call is going to be as a Planeswalker level patron. One of the perks is we do like to do a call with our patrons every 3 months and be like, hey, how's the show doing? And it's always been a really, really good thing. It's where this whole idea for the Win-A-Box promo came from, as well as a bunch of other ideas for the show. So that'll be coming your way sometime in September, guys. So be watching your emails and stuff. It's also in our Discord. We'll talk about it. It's just a Zoom call. It's usually a Saturday night. Takes about an hour. Where we just have a good time and just kind of reconnect with you guys. We're looking forward to it. And again, if you want to be a part of that, patreon.com/planestalkers. All right, we have a great show, but we're still in Untap, and you know what that means.
Oh, God. Please, no.
Oh, no. I am untapping a Kona Brewing Company Castaway IPA. I was not a big fan of last week. I'm going to be very interested to see how this one goes. Like, I bought like a variety pack, so this is a different one.
How many IPAs is this one?
Oh, this is just a single. Look, we have responsibilities tonight, man. We're doing deck analysis. I can't be drinking triples or quadruples or Jack and Cokes, which was Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
This is also really hoppy. My wife would hate it. It's refreshing in a way, but it's yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy this Kona brand again. Nothing against Kona Brewing Company. Obviously, hashtag not sponsored. But yeah, wow, that's not a good beer. That's a
thing that happened.
That's the thing that happened. That's something we're going through.
Okay.
So in any event, I like the non-IPA Konas. All right, last straw. Thanks. I think I might have one or two in the bottom. I think I have a brown ale as well, so I'll try that maybe next week. But that was our untapped portion. Aramis, how the heck are you, man? How's the weekend? I mean, you had Friday Night Magic you played, right? And you were really impressed with your deck.
Oh man, I had never gone through a streak like this since I started playing Arena. I actually, I put together, like, it was historic. It was standard 2021.
Standard without
standard. It was post rotation standard, which I was like, thank God. And I don't play too many of the F&M events, but this one I was like, okay, let me see. And I actually put the deck together myself. It wasn't a net deck, but it was really easy because I just jammed in all the best cards out of Simic. So, you got your Cultivates, you got your Geese, you got, Uro, God, what else was in there? Ugin.
I played a similar deck. I played a Simic, it was a Simic, wasn't Simic Flash. It was, Simic Adventures. Like, I want to do it without red. I was like, let's roll without red. Dude, I rolled without red.
Yeah, I won the first two games extremely quickly and decided, I'm having fun with this. Let's keep playing. 35 games later, I finally lost one. It was crazy. And like the only reason I ended up losing 3 games, and I probably played like 50 because I was having so much fun. And it was basically if I resolved Ugin, I won. Yeah. Nobody ever had an answer for Ugin.
Sounds really exciting, dude. It sounds like that was a lot of fun to play.
Well, it was a lot of turn 3 questing beasts.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of like turn 6 Ugins. Oh, and it was absolutely crazy. And it just, I mean, that does make me very worried as to how good Cynic is going to be when rotation happens. Because there's a lot of good stuff in Cynic still.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I had a good time. We had a nice weekend. We did a Zoom call with some of our college friends where we kind of honored our brother. Thank you guys for the nice wishes, by the way. You know, and stuff like that. Dude, I had a week. Like, after my buddy Jeff, like, I found out 2 days later, a friend of mine that I marched with in drum corps passed away. I was like, what the hell? And then to top it all off, goddamn Black Panther passes away. I'm like, you know, what the hell is wrong?
That came completely out of left field. And you know what? I'm not going to say I'm ever, it's hard to put this in words, but there was a picture of him.
He looked a little rough. If you look at pictures, you could start to see.
Well, yeah, there was a picture of him like 3 months into the pandemic. It was a June picture or whatever, and he was like gaunt.
Yeah.
And people were making fun of him, saying, "Oh, Black Panther went to Crack Panther." Ha ha ha. And turns out the guy had cancer, and he never said anything.
In other words, that's why he was so bunch skinny. Of douche nozzles.
Yeah, they were a bunch of douches because it's like it turns out the guy was literally dying of cancer, and it's just I can't believe it. It was perfect casting for the character. I don't know how they're going to continue because he was supposed to be in the next phase of the Avengers movies, and I think they were working on Black Panther 2.
I started a ride home with Will today, and then I didn't finish it because I got a phone call. So I'm gonna do one tomorrow where I kind of talk about that. And it's weird because I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I like Black Panther, but like, let's face it, I'm a cis Irish white boy. Like, you know, Black Panther for me is a completely different thing than what it is for 90% of the Black Panther fans out there. And so there are parts of me too that's like I almost feel like I almost don't have a right or to say like what I think should happen. You know, because you know what, but I mean I got opinions and stuff, and what the hell, that's what the podcast is for. And if you want to listen to the Ride Home with Will, patreon.com. But yeah, no, I mean it was one of those weeks where cancer just freaking kicked. Like Cancer 3, Will and his friends, nothing, you know. But
remind you that it's still there in the middle of all this other nonsense.
Yeah, and I mean that's just it, the pandemic and all that. And I've got friends who are really starting to feel the pinch because they work in the music or entertainment industry. And I mean, say what you will, the state is just beating the heck out of those guys. Rightfully so. I mean, I get it. We're trying to protect the world here, but it's still it's hard. It's hard. The Twitch name to search for. Wow, Godoc, you should be like, you have to listen to the end of the show, man. That's where we talk about it. We should do this. It's twitch.tv/PlanesTalkers podcast.
PlanesTalkers.
Hold on.
Just look up PlanesTalkers.
Yeah, PlanesTalkers podcast.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/PlanesTalkers podcast. There's also twitch.tv/MindCrime73, but that just gives me the list, and really go to PlanesTalkers.
That's our actual channel.
So, but with that, I mean, let's get into the upkeep because we have a show tonight. We have a pretty full show. You know, for main one, we usually like to talk State of Standard, but let's face it, State of Standard is, hey, there's new cards coming. So we're gonna
rotation.
Yes. So we're gonna talk about 2 official previews did come out today. You know, they were unofficial, official. It's basically the 2 Planeswalkers.
2 out of the 3.
2 out of the 3. So we're gonna kind of just glance over that. Really, what you guys are here for is main 2. Main 2 tonight. We're gonna talk about the historic tournament deck list we've got. So we're doing our Zendikar Rising historic tournament. We've got our 31 participants. We had 32. I didn't get a deck list from somebody, so we gave a bye to Trayton, who won the Core 21 box set, which of course means that Trayton will then lose in round 2. Which
that's the way it's gone so far.
Which is helpful. But we're gonna go in and out of the deck list. We're gonna look at the deck list in relation to their first rounds, and we've got everything put together. When the show's over tonight, I'm gonna be emailing the link with the deck list to all the participants. as well as the rules, as well as the, but the tables are set up. You guys know who you're playing already if you're in the Discord. So
basically release the hounds.
Yeah, we're going to release the hounds tonight. So let's go ahead and get right into main here. So,
Main phase.
all right, welcome to main phase. All right, so we did get some, I don't know where these came from, but because they show up on Scryfall, we're going to consider them official.
They came from Wizards of the Coast.
Did they put them out? Okay, I know that tomorrow is their big day, and tomorrow is going to be preview day, and there's the video that they're going to put out, and nobody's going to be socially distancing, and at least they no wait, last time they did. I remember when Throne came out, or what was it before that? Ikoria. Before
Ikoria was after Throne.
Yeah, Ikoria was before 21.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the Ikoria one, like, we had just gone into quarantine, and they're all standing there, like, hugging each other. And I'm like, this looks weird.
Well, remember, they put the disclaimer in the front saying this was filmed before everything went to shit. No.
So I just remember looking at that going, this looks weird. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. I mean, really, that's what I'm more interested in is like, hey, are you guys what are you doing tomorrow? Oh God, is it gonna be? Is Morrow doing it? Is he sitting there in front of his computer? No,
I don't know who's gonna be there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Morrow made an appearance.
Oh, he'll make an appearance because
Yeah, I don't know who they have,
minutes.
like all, set up for that because like for Ikoria it was the command zone people.
Yeah,
so.
which I thought was cool. All right, so we do have but they did give us those, so I'm going to show you guys what we got here. If you check your screens, all right, and this is through scryfall.com, totally used without permission. I have emailed them many times and said, hey, can I, and they never get back to me, so I don't think they checked their mail. But scryfall.com, great website. You should definitely go check. What we've got on the screen is we have Jace, Mirror Mage, and Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. Why don't you tell us about Jace there, since I'm sure that's the one you're most excited about, Aramis?
Well, I think
Let's
it's
call
definitely
it, otherwise known as Jace, I'm going to be banned.
No, not even close.
I'm
calling
calling it right now. Oko level.
God.
Oko level. This thing will get
No
banned
way.
quick.
It's definitely the better of the two that have been previewed so far. So I'll read the card and I'll let you fire off your opinions on it. So Jace Mirror Mage is 1 and 2 blue for a Planeswalker, Jace, duh. It starts with 4 loyalty. This has kicker 2. That's the first thing that sort of stands out to me. It's a Planeswalker with kicker, which they haven't done before. I'm liking that they're throwing other elements into Planeswalkers besides just static abilities. So anyway, kicker 2. When Jace Mirror Mage enters the battlefield, if Jace was kicked, which we all, I'm sure, want to do at some point if we don't play control.
Well, it brings him out at 5 unless you're ramping into him, which is so hard to do in Simic.
If Jace was kicked, you create a token that's a copy of Jace Mirror Mage, except it's not legendary and its starting loyalty is 1. So you can pay 3 for the regular Jace, or you can pay 5 to get a Jace and a quarter. And it only has a +1 and a 0 ability for its loyalty abilities. The +1 ability is Scry 2. Pretty innocuous. You get to filter your draw. Scry 2 is pretty powerful, and a free Scry 2 is not bad at all. The 0 ability is draw a card and reveal it. Remove a number of loyalty counters equal to that card's converted mana cost from Jace Mirror Mage. So the Scry, you can sort of Scry with the baby Jace and draw with the fat Jace, and if it's 4 or less, your other Jace survives, and you can sort of bounce them back and forth and sort of filter your draws through that way. That's really, it's really good for control, I think, because it helps.
It's really good for almost everything, dude.
Well, it keeps a steady flow of cards going. It doesn't do anything to impact the board by itself. I will say that. It generates value, but it doesn't remove anything. It doesn't tap anything. It doesn't mill stuff. It doesn't fate seal.
It lets you grab things that do. Now, don't get me wrong. They have obviously learned. I can't help thinking there probably was a third power on this thing. They're like, shit, get that off. Get that off. It does also. There was probably at one point at Ultimate, they're like, no, we got to take that off.
Yeah, like one listener was just saying, it doesn't even protect itself like Oko does. Like the only way that it kind of protects itself is that if you kick it, it makes a copy. So they probably kill the bigger one, and you're left with the token copy at 1 loyalty.
Swing for lethal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're not going to see this anywhere near the same kind of shenanigans with this Jace as we would with Oko. So I think this is a very solid Planeswalker. I think it's it's a B+ Planeswalker.
Okay,
it's really good. It'll see play, but it's
so
not.
You don't
like
think
crazy.
It'll be banned?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It dies to too much.
Really?
It doesn't do anything to it. It
Okay.
can't protect
No,
itself.
no. You know what? I disagree. I
Okay.
think it will be banned.
right, well,
I think it will be banned before the third set. So this set and the next set, I'm willing to make another packet bet with you there, sir.
Wow. Really?
Another
You wanna
booster
go
pack
there?
bet. I am 100% willing to do that. I 100% believe this card will be banned. Somebody will find a way to use it in the current and when I say banned, I mean standard. We're not going to count modern. It's too easy to ban shit there. What I'm saying is this will see a standard ban.
Okay.
Before the third set is dropped. So whatever the hell the third set is. So
Okay.
you'll have this set and the next
Zendikar,
set. Yeah.
Not the Zendikar set or the set after that.
Yeah.
So the set before core set.
Right. It'll get banned by that. So if by that time the third set drops, it hasn't been banned, I'll owe you a booster pack.
Okay.
All right.
Take that bet.
Game on.
I'll take that bet. Let's move on to the next Planeswalker.
Okay then.
So we have Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. I believe she was the voice that was speaking in the little teaser video. I think that was Nahiri. But there's speculation it was either her or Nissa. So anyway, she is 2, a red and a white, for 4 starting loyalty. +1, create a 1/1 white core warrior creature token. You may attach an equipment you control to it. -2, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And her ultimate, which is a -3, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, deals damage to target creature or planeswalkers equal to twice the number of equipment you control.
Now, the question becomes there, in regards to that, is what it says is you may attach equipment you control to it. Does that mean that's separate from equipment? Like, you're not going to have to pay the equip cost.
Right. That means you don't pay the equip cost. It just slaps it on that token creature.
Hello, Embercleave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I mean, I think this this is a build around.
Yeah.
I don't think this is one of those planeswalkers that's not obviously good.
I think it's a limited, and I think it's you're right, it's a build around. I think it'll see a lot of play in limited. Like you.
I don't think it's bad. It's it's all going to depend on how much equipment is in Zendikar.
Come on, dude. There's going to be a ton of equipment in Zendikar.
Or if the equipment's any good.
Yeah, that's the trick.
There'll
be plenty of equipment. Oh,
yeah,
look at
swords.
that, Steve.
I don't think the swords are going to get reprinted. I don't think we're going to see like Sword of Fire and Ice in. I mean, that would be awesome, but I don't think we're going to see the swords in there. Maybe they reprint Batterskull.
It's possible they reprint Battleskull.
Oh no, that's Phyrexia.
Yeah,
that's a Phyrexian thing. They could reprint. I don't know, World Slayer.
I still can't help thinking that tomorrow when they do the announcement, I got to figure they're going to give us the roadmap for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't given us anything.
They are giving us.
We
the roadmap
have to be
on
going
Tuesday.
back to Phyrexia at some point in the next year.
Tuesday, we will know what the next sets will be. They've already.
And I can't help thinking Phyrexia is going to be one of them. I just can't. I mean,
I don't see why not.
I mean, we've been to Zendikar like already once
3 times.
Since
This is the third time,
but already once since we've been to Phyrexia, like, and we're going back to Zendikar. So yeah, there's no reason not to put us back at Phyrexia for a while.
And again, all the hints that they've dropped over the last few sets about Karn wanting to go there, Ashiok finding out who the Phyrexians are, Elspeth, she had some issues with the Phyrexians. So yeah, I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion that we're going there. It's just a matter of when. Will it be in the next year? Will it be towards the end of next year?
Well,
Maybe
I'm not making that
2022.
bet.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm making that bet.
No.
But everybody seems to think you're getting the better end of this deal, though, of the bet we just made. Maybe I should rethink that.
Too late. It's already in the.
I know.
Already in the history books, pal. I mean, I have your booster pack.
Yeah, really?
It's sitting behind me. Yeah, I have it.
Oh, good. About damn time.
I have it.
Well, so eventually we should do lunch again maybe this week. I get paid Thursday, man. We can hang out Thursday.
Yeah, we might be able to do that.
But yeah, that's pretty much.
That's all we know so far.
That's all we know, and that's our state of standard, folks.
Yeah, standard is
pretty much
standard is Sultai poop.
Yes, Sultai, many Sultais.
There's 2 flavors of Sultai. They both are dominant. They both suck. Then there's adventures down the line a little ways, and
I mean they're still doing like the weekend things going on.
Yeah, there wasn't one this past weekend, so there wasn't really any major tournaments. They sort of shifted their focus to historic because of the invitational coming up this weekend.
Yep.
So yeah, standard is kind of dead, which I can't wait. Oh God, how many more weeks is it? 3 more weeks? 4 more weeks?
Wow. Yes.
Rotation needs to happen.
Yes,
like
it
now,
does.
please.
So let's go into combat. And then Steve decided to cast a fog, so
Constant mists.
yes.
Magnificent.
All right. This is why you're all here. I mean, we have many people. I can't see a number, unfortunately, because OBS now tonight is not telling me who's here. So, but like I know we have the chat room is just nuts. We, as many of you know, we have been working on putting together a win-a-box tournament for Zendikar Rising. We capped it at 32, which I think is a very good number, and we filled it in like a day. I was very happy with the results from this.
Super fast.
Yeah. So we have it filled. We did have one person who never got me a deck list, so I had to remove him from the tournament because we really wanted to get things going because I really want you guys to get the box this time. I mean, Trayton just got his box of 21 like 2 weeks ago. So I want to make it so that, ZR is still, relevant. So we're going live tonight, man. Tonight's it. But to start us off, to kind of prime you guys, we're going to go through the deck lists. We have 31 deck lists to go through. Like I said, Trayton we gave a bye to because he's our returning champion. Alexa, hang up. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why Alexa was open. I'll take that again. So what time are we at?
About 15, 20 seconds ago.
No, I mean, I'm looking at I'm trying to find my clock. Okay, 20, right at about 22-minute mark. Okay. So Trayton gets a bye. So we're going to do that, and we're going to send out the deck lists tonight to the rest of you, and to Trayton as well, so you can see what you're playing. Now, the format for this, we decided to move away from standard because, ow. So we moved to historic, but not just any historic. We really felt that we wanted to make it kind of interesting. So we made a historic artisan, which is commons and uncommons only, including your lands. So we've gone through and everybody put together deck lists. We used a random site for me to put the brackets together. So we now have a set of 15 matches. And we're basically just going to go through the list as we have them right now. So as you can see here, I don't think you guys can see the bracket, but that's okay. So we're going to start with Trayton because Trayton obviously has the most, he's our champion. He's also our bye. I'm going to go ahead and make his deck a little bigger and bingo bango so you can read it. All right. So Trayton, why don't you talk about Trayton there, Aramis?
Well, Trayton's deck to me looks like good old-fashioned mono blue tempo.
It does.
You got some curious obsessions. You got your curiosity. So he's doubling up on the 1-mana enchantments to let you draw cards when your stuff deals combat damage. He's got your Storm Tamers, Terramanders, Spectral Sailors. It's a very, very typical list to what you would have seen when mono blue was at its heyday. It's minus a couple of cards, like no Tempest Djinn, because that was really the haymaker in that deck. But looks very aggressive, very low to the ground. It looks like the type of a deck that could, really slam the door shut in just a few turns. It's got a little bit of protection with Lofty Denial and Spell Pierce, Essence Capture, Mystical Dispute, Lookout's Dispersal, Dive Down, so he can protect his creatures. So this is an aggressive deck looking to get down a creature fast, slap one of these enchantments on it, and go to town and just race you.
So the thing with this, though, okay, it doesn't have the Djinn. The Tempest
does not have the Djinn. No Tempest.
Because he can't, because it's rare. So, it doesn't. Does mono blue tempo work without the bomb? I gotta figure his Terramander's his bomb, right?
I think,
and the Cutthroat.
In lieu of a bomb, the Cutthroat will be the most powerful creature on the ground. The Terramander will be the one in the air. But in lieu of having a bomb, he's got a lot of permission. So he's basically saying, look, I'm going to get my threat down early, and I'm going to basically counter everything that you have that could get in the way of my card. I don't care about anything else. And I want to be able to close the game out in the air as soon as possible. And putting a Curious Obsession and or a Curiosity on whatever evasive creature I have is going to let me keep my hand full of answers. So that way, if you try to play a threat, I can say, no, No, you're not. You're not casting that. So it's sort of a really weird cross between a classic control deck and an aggressive deck. Because normally with a control deck, you've got counter spells and permission galore and a big finisher, whereas the aggressive deck is a lot of cheap creatures that get in fast, and this does both. So I'm really curious to see how this one is going to do. And since he is our defending champion, he gets a bye, so he gets to sit back and relax and watch some people beat each other up.
Right. So here's how things are going, folks, by the way. I didn't tell you this. We decided that instead of doing one tournament for a couple hours on like a Friday, we said, you know what? Let's make it so that people can play and still have a life. So we play it over a week. So we're going to release everything tonight. These guys will have a week to get their game in. If they can get done with round 1 quick enough, if all 15 games get played before the week's over, we'll go right to round 2. We're going to wait until all the games are played, and then we move on to round 2, move on to round 3, 4, 5, etc. A lot of people are talking about streaming. I'm going to have them put a tag of PlanesTalkers when they stream, so they get to go in, and I'm going to send instructions on how to do that, so that if you want to watch, you can tag it. Look for the tag PlanesTalkers, and you should be able to find the stream. We're also thinking, Aramis and I are trying to do a call on 1 or 2. We might pick some people out, schedule it with them. We'll record it, the event, and then throw it up on our Twitch. So we've got a few ideas that we're thinking about with that, but we're kind of excited there. So let's go on to our second matchup. The second matchup is Miguel versus Dylan. And Miguel is playing... Why don't you talk about Miguel's deck here? Because it looks like a white... It looks like a Selesnya deck.
It's Selesnya. It looks to be Selesnya +1/+1 counters. Not so much like proliferate, but just taking advantage of +1/+1 counters. Again, looks to be fairly aggressive. Because you got the... Renata's can be... it's a 4-mana card. That Renata's going to be pretty powerful because that allows his other creatures to come in with additional +1/+1 counters.
Right.
Conclave Mentor adds extra +1/+1 counters. Wildwood Scourge gets extra +1/+1 counters. So it's basically taking advantage of that, making his guys huge and going in with them. He's even got Tempered Veteran to slap counters on people that he needs. It looks to me like his Haymaker, his one big bomb, might be Mowu.
Yeah, I was going to say
good
that
boys.
Too.
Because he's a vigilant trampling guy, so I can't see the other ones being the ones that finish out the game. Although Wildwood Scourge can get very big, very fast, especially with Conclave Mentor in there to basically stack on the number of +1/+1 counters he's going to get. It also provides him, the Mentor provides some, I believe, some life when it dies, equal to the number, or does it deal damage? I forget exactly what that one does when it dies. It has a death trigger based on the number of +1/+1 counters that you have. Let me just see if I can find it real fast here. Conclave Mentor, but yeah, it looks to be another somewhat aggressive deck. Yeah, you gain life equal to its power when it dies.
Wow.
So
yeah, it looks like a pretty tough deck. It's going to be it's going up against Dylan. So
Dylan is playing mono red aggro.
Yes,
Cavalcade.
he is. So this is going to be
Cavalcade
interesting.
This is
the best version of mono red.
Yeah, this is going to be a matchup where those Conclave Mentors are going to come in big time handy. If they get to be 5 power or higher, I don't know that Dylan's going to be able to deal enough damage.
Well, he's running Caval. So, I mean, he's playing the mono red with Cavalcade because obviously can't play Hazoret because you can't play Haz, you can't play Glorybringer, you can't play the Oncrop Crasher. So, right, because is Oncrop...
Oncrop Crasher isn't uncommon.
What am I thinking of there? The shoot.
Kenra Earthshaker.
Earthshaker Kenra, or the Soulscar Mage.
Or the Soulscar Mage.
I mean, it doesn't have that. So this is looking like, I mean, the fact he's running Ramanat Ruins. I mean, damn, I love that card. Mm-hmm. I mean, I you know me, I'm a big fan of red. He's obviously running a version of Cavalcade, but he's running it with some little extra fun parts in there. I mean,
well, I mean, he's maximizing the synergy with the Cavalcade because every creature in here is a 1 power creature on attack.
Right. So I mean,
and then
Miguel's just going to have to wait until try to survive turn 5. If you can get to turn 5, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be all right. But
he might need to go faster than that because this looks like a deck that can easily kill you on turn 3 or 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Spitfire is a pain.
Mm-hmm. So the Spitfire, the Pyroling getting double strike.
Yep. This is
So I mean, this is a deck that could kill you very fast. I would say it's like I said, it's all going to depend on whether or not Miguel can get the Conclave Mentors up to a high enough power so that if they die,
well. Then again, though,
he
the
gains some
Conclave
life.
Mentors. I mean, claim the Firstborn. He's got that in the sideboard. I mean,
That is in the sideboard. Yeah.
there are some crazy things that he could pull. The Wildwood Scourge is able to be pulled off. Claim the first, but that's just it. Like, no, I have almost no doubt that Dylan on sideboarding, and not that I want to give him help, but on sideboarding, claim the firstborn is coming. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Miguel, be ready for it.
Well, Miguel's got Feet of Resistance.
Yeah.
So that takes care of it by giving something protection from rain.
Oh yeah, I see now on crops in his sideboard. So, I mean, yeah,
This is gonna be a good matchup.
Well, the one thing I think he's gonna struggle with in Arena. Don't forget we're playing in Arena. He's running with 19 lands. Or 20 lands. Okay, he's running with 20 lands, but not all of them red. Ramanov costs you 1. I think he's going to pay for that. Like, because you're playing a mono red deck, Ramanov's great, but
Ramanov comes in untapped, I believe.
Ramanov does come in untapped, but you have to pay 1 to get a red.
No, you just pay a life.
Yeah, so I mean, pay 1 life to get a red.
It's red. He doesn't care about life. It's his life total.
Yeah, but well, he has to though, given that this can go sideways. The problem is, I think make sure that you're mulliganing right, because believe me, the stupid hey, I have 2 red lands in a mono red deck, I should be fine. That does not work the way we think it used to. 2 red. Here's the thing, guys. It's Arena. If you have 2 lands, almost always mulligan. Almost always.
I think Dylan's got some really good stuff in the sideboard against Miguel. I mean, I can see him bringing in the Tybalts, the Lava Coils, the Claim the Firstborns, like you said, even the On-Crop Crashers, because if those Conclave Mentors get big enough, he can either steal it or just go around it.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great matchup.
matchup.
That's going to be one to watch. So let's go on. We're going to talk about Ted versus Zach. Ted did play in our last one, so very cool guy. He's running, it looks like, well, I guess he's running an artifact deck and an enchantment.
Azorius artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah, this is flavorful.
Yep. I really like it. It's got all that glitters, and that looks
all
like
that glitters
is
that's his big card.
Yeah, that and Curious Obsession. I can see on turn 2 putting that on an Ornithopter.
Oh.
You play an Ornithopter turn 1 with a land. You play another land, and then you either cast another Ornithopter, put all that glitters on the first Ornithopter. Now you've got a 3/5 flyer on turn 2. That's going to be hard to catch up from.
Again, though, he's playing only 20 lands.
He doesn't really need to play more than that. The most expensive card in his deck is the Skilled Animator, and I believe that's an adventure card anyway.
Yeah, but even still. Like in blue-white,
he's got Mind Stones too. He does have some mana.
Okay,
rocks.
He does have mana rock. You're right. I mean, I don't know how I feel about him not having Outside of Life's Bounty in the main, because it's a great card to protect other things. I think you always would want to have that. That's a good 1-drop. I almost would have that over Ginger Brute. Honestly,
I would keep the Ginger Brute. I maybe would have it over Inquisitive Puppet.
That's probably true.
But I could see that being something that gets sided out for like the Siren Storm Tamers, maybe the Hypnotic Sprites.
Yeah,
I can see like the Spell Pierce. There's stuff in here that he can use to sort of counteract the more aggressive decks that he might see.
Well, especially because I mean he's playing basically an Izzet deck. Zach's playing an Izzet deck against him, so if you look
kind of an Izzet spells.
Yeah, which is. Again, very flavorful. And he's not the only one playing this deck, which I was surprised at. I didn't know this was a deck.
There's a few Izzet decks floating around. This is sort of like, almost looks like a budget Izzet Phoenix.
Yeah, but he can't have Phoenix.
There's no Phoenix, but it's similar in the respect of it wants to cast a bunch of spells, keep your creatures dead, land a huge flyer, and then just go to town.
Well, Terramander's his big one.
Well, Crackling Drake, too. Crackling Drake can get very huge.
Yep. Quickly.
So
dive down, giving him, hexproof.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I'm looking at it though, if I had to pick a winner, I might go with. It's hard to beat all that glitters, with him having so much enchantment and artifacts in there. one all that glitters, and he has a pretty big beast that can survive almost lightning strikes and lava coils. He's playing what 11.
He's playing 20.
Everybody with the 20 lands, man. All right then.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggressive decks. I see a lot of aggressive. Like even the Izzet deck is on the aggressive side.
Yeah.
So I like the
Steve's calling for Zach on this one, so.
Well, I mean, he's playing islands, so that gives him an advantage.
Yes, of course. I mean, so what if you had to pick one? What would you say?
I mean, I would say that Ted's deck has the more explosive capability. If he gets a good enough draw, he could run away with the game very quickly. I would say maybe overall the more consistent looking deck would be Zach's, but again, on paper doesn't mean anything.
It's any given Friday. So let's keep going here. We've got Alice facing Robert. So Alice is running Cauldron Familiar. She looks like she's trying to run the sack deck with with no rares. And
is there.
That's not a horrible way to do it.
No, there's some synergies in Historic that really make up for the fact that you're missing some cards out of the
I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah, Blood Artist is perfect for this deck.
It really is.
Every time something dies, you get a little bit of a drain. You start cycling through the cat with the Blood Artist, and every time you do that, it's a shock.
Yeah.
So this is it looks kind of aggressive, but it looks a little more grindy at the same time.
Well, the Mayhem Devils help. That'll keep her,
This deck looks a little fragile, though. I mean, it looks like if there's enough removal or disruption, it looks like it could be held in check pretty easily. But again, if it can get going, it's damn near unstoppable to stop the cat once it starts cycling out of the graveyard.
I think I probably would have put Sir Conrad in. I probably would have put Sir Conrad in the main. I think that card's way too good in this. I
think I can see why it wasn't in the main. I think this deck is really aggressive in its mana curve. It's really cheap. It doesn't want to have a 5-drop stuck in its opening hand and maybe never be able to cast it. I can see where this deck can close the game out fairly quickly. It's not going to be doing it through attacking. It's going to be grinding it out, getting a bunch of triggers, uncounterable stuff. I see Sir Conrad coming in maybe in a longer game against maybe Control.
Okay.
If you can stick it, because you're hoping that maybe they use their permission spells and their counter magic on your early stuff. Throw some things out there you don't care about.
And I mean, she's playing. It looks like they're playing an aggro deck. It looks like Robert is playing an aggro deck, and this says
playing against Robert. It's another Izzet Spells deck. This one running Sprite Dragon and Riddle Form. This is sort of a cross between the Spells deck and like a Draw 2 deck because you got the Fairy Vandals in there as well.
Right.
So kinetic, one Crackling Drake and some Kinetic Augurs.
Sprite Dragon's its main thing though.
Yeah, Sprite Dragon's a really good 2-drop. If you can get it and then start casting some spells to grow it. I mean, a 1/1 flyer with haste for 2 mana is already, not terrible. And the fact that it can easily be a 3/3 or a 4/4 on turn 3 is very good. That can end the game pretty quickly.
And again, another Crackling Drake with 3 in the side. I gotta lean on Robert on this. I think because the one thing that Alice's deck can't handle is flying.
To me, it looks like Alice's deck. It's one of those decks that doesn't necessarily care what their opponent is doing. She's just like, look, I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to drain you out.
Right.
And Robert's deck, has some shocks. And as far as removal goes, that's it. So he can't really stop the combo.
If they get the engine going.
He's got the Stern Dismissal, but I think that this is going to be closer than you think. I think that if Alice's deck can get the engine going, she will definitely win. If Robert can somehow remove the ovens or make it so that she can't play the cats or the Blood Artists or something along those lines, or kill the Mayhem Devils, then she might have the advantage. Or if she gets a really aggressive draw early.
Right.
But I think I want to give the edge to Alice on this one.
Yeah, I think he would have benefited from Robert would have benefited. Here's the thing: I don't know why anybody wouldn't put Tormund's Crypt in this historic / standard meta. Like, yeah, Tormund's Crypt needs to be in every sideboard. Like, you need to deal with damn graveyard. Like
The problem is, though,
and he
it
doesn't even have
doesn't shut off.
Bog.
It doesn't shut off Crackling Drake, though.
No, but it will shut off the Cat Oven.
It does shut off Cat Oven. It doesn't shut off. It doesn't. There's a few cards that it won't shut off, but it does. Well, it temporarily stops Cat Oven because
Right.
it just exiles it once. All you got to do is wait for that to go away once. If you have another cat, then whatever.
Right.
Once you see the crypt be played, you just start holding cats in your hand until the first one's gone.
Right. Well, let's keep going. We've got Josh versus Connor. Now, Josh, this is the buddy you were talking about earlier. He's got the high mythic score, and you can see why. Why don't you talk about this deck?
This is another Rakdos Sacrifice deck.
But he's running Claim to Fame.
Claim to Fame, and also Young Pyromancer.
Yep.
To get a lot more tokens out, more value, get a lot more out of his spells. But it's a very similar deck. Really leans into the sacrifice theme. This looks good. This looks like one that is again, it's going to be. I'm going to attack you with stuff, but at the same time, I don't really have to. And he has a little more straight up removal to deal with things. I mean, Spark Harvest will just flat out kill.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything in the format. There's not a lot of hexproof at uncommon.
No. So I mean, dive down, but you better be playing blue.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Connor is playing our first of, I think there's only 3, thank God.
3 or 4, yeah.
Of the cycle decks. So
yeah.
And it's a pretty standard cycle deck. And he's running, obviously he's got to run Cast Out. Zenith Flare is obviously there, but you could deal with that. Cast
Out and the cycling lands are basically the only real additions from and timely reinforcements in the sideboard. They're the only additions from the historic card pool.
Yeah.
They're good ones, though. I mean, having the Amonkhet block be introduced right before this allowed the cycling decks to get more tools. And Cast Out was something that they were missing, a quick, instant speed answer to just about anything.
But he's not running any of the cycle lands. I just noticed that.
Forgotten Cave and Secluded Steppe.
Okay, I missed it. Yeah, all right.
They both cycle. He's not running Triomes because they cycle for 3. These cycle for 1.
And they're rares.
Yeah, and these cycle for 1 mana.
Right.
So
Sorry, Steve.
It's better
I missed
for
it.
it's better for the way the deck runs because everything in here pretty much cycles for 1 mana. And what you want to do is land a Stinger or a Rescuer early or a Fox early, and just like cycle 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that are rip.
I don't think he's got enough. I think Josh is gonna. I think he's gonna roll right over him.
The cycling deck is deceptively fast, though. Don't forget how quickly that can kill you.
Yeah, but Josh is running Duresses in Act of Treasons, Soul Guide. He's running enough in his sideboard, like Duress alone. All right, you're obviously gonna main those, looking for Zenith. Zenith Flare is his ender. Like, I mean, without Zenith Flare, he's gonna struggle. Like,
well, I mean, he'll have to hope to get enough triggers off of his Stingers, his Rescuers, or his Foxes, or his healers to just pump his life total up. Interestingly enough, though,
well placed Bog. You're right. You're absolutely right on that too, Steve.
Yeah,
well, he has a Bog, so.
Yeah, but Connor also has a very good sideboard answer against Josh in Apostle of Purifying Light, protection from black and graveyard hate, all rolled into one package.
This will be one of those interesting matchups.
There's good matchups all up and down the board here. I'm really impressed. We haven't even gone through all the decks yet, but I looked at them before we went live, and I'm really impressed at the variety of things that are out there. I was expecting a lot more cycling decks than what I saw, and it's been really a pleasant surprise for me to see the ingenuity. I mean, I don't know how many of these lists are basically stock lists that they made some tweaks on, but there's some innovation here. There's some originality here. I really, really like this.
I do too. I'm a big fan. We're about halfway through here. So far, I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, guys, I'll pull the curtain back a little bit for you here. I kept mentioning the cycle deck because, dear God, I didn't want to see 10 of them. And I figured if I mention it, they're like, I'm going to play cycle. Oh, shit, he said it. No, I'm not going to play that now. Everybody's going to be loaded for it. That was the plan. So I'm going to admit it right now. Total mind control moment on my part.
It was a soft ban on Zenith Flare.
It's like setting user passwords to say Will is awesome whenever I have to set one. Do you know why I do that? Because if you have to type it, you have to think it. IT mind control, people. Tell your friends. So
Moving on.
Moving on. Let's go on to Mark. He's been in all of our winner boxes so far. He is running again another. This is an interesting
Azorius
deck.
Flyers.
Yes.
This is Azorius Flyers.
It's 100% Azorius Flyers.
Yeah, Empyrean Eagle and Watcher of the Spheres.
But he's threw all the glitters in there, which I freaking love.
Yeah, that's because that card, I mean, with the Ornithopters and the Curious Obsessions that are in there, and the Favorable Winds, and the Staggering Insight, I mean, I'm surprised Curiosity's not on this list, but I mean, he could very easily pay 2, give something +5/+5, and then just crush you.
I'm very, very impressed with this list.
He's got a very toolbox sideboard too. He's got a lot of different pieces, so he's got some options depending on what his matchup is going to be.
Right. I like that deck a lot. Mike is the example of confidence. Mike decided to not make a sideboard. I literally said, dude, no sideboard, and he said, don't need one. So Yikes. He's obviously running a Golgari funness, but
sort of a Golgari reanimator type of thing.
Yeah, but almost. It's got white in it too. Like, so it's like
one planes. That's just for Unburial Rights.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of fracking deck here. It's
he's got 3 Titan. Yeah. This is Reanimator. This is straight up Reanimator. He's hoping to basically discard a Titanoth Rex and bring it back turn 2 or 3 as an 11/11 trampler.
I don't know how I feel about him not having a sideboard in this. With what we've seen so far, like not having a sideboard seems kind of.
I guess it might be one of those things where it's like I can't really take anything out. So what's the point? I can see this is so focused in on. I need to get one of my big, fat, dumb creatures in the graveyard ASAP. Hopefully have a reanimation spell in my hand. If I happen to mill Unburial Rights, that's what the forest is for.
Right.
Or the plains. So I can cast it with flashback, get back my big, stupid beater, and smash your face in a couple of turns, and pray to God you don't have exile removal.
I mean, Ravenous is great for removal. I mean, yeah, he's got it's a decent deck. I think he's going to have a good time.
It's spicy. I like it.
I do, too. It's very flavorful. I mean, I think Mark's got him. I do.
And if nothing else, he can sort of ramp it out a little bit with Llanowar Elves. He can get through. He can have a lot of mana pretty quickly. So and then Lothlith Giant can sort of kill you out of nowhere.
Right. So
excuse me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm loving this so far. I mean, everybody's kind of coming in with
I don't know that he'll win against Azorius Flyers, but I'm rooting for it only because this Reanimator is kind of a fun. Kind of a deck to play anyway. I know that if he had access to some rares, he would kill for like a Dracoseth or a Grizzlebrand.
Right. And that's just it. I took a look at the deck. I'm like, okay, it without rares, it's kind of missing pieces. But let's move on to, and he's going to love this. We know he's in the chat. He's our most chatty Cathy here tonight. Steve has built his deck, and it's a mono blue. Well, no, it's
Azorius Flyers.
Azorius Flyers.
Azorius Flyers again.
A different flavor, and I like
a little heavier. You know what? I'm not surprised. It's slightly heavier on the controlling aspect, and I can see that because we played enough Commander games with him. He usually has counter spells with whatever he plays. That's one of the reasons I had him do Abzan last time.
I forget what's he doing this week.
Boros Feather.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna have a bitch of a time with that. That'll be so much fun. Tune in for Commander Craft. Tell your friends. Yeah, I do. I like Azorius Flyers. Watcher of the Spheres is a nice little flavorful little.
That was in the other Azorius Flyers deck as well. It's a flying lord. I mean, it makes does it make your flyers cheaper or harder to kill? It gives them +1/+1, I think.
Watcher of the Spheres.
It's good. It's good for flyers. It's a 2/2 flyer for 2. I know that. I remember I had a Core 21 draft when I had like 3 of them in my deck.
Creature spells with flying cost you 1 less, and whenever Watcher of the Spheres gets 1/1 until end of turn whenever he plays a flyer.
That's what it is.
So I do like that. I like Curiosity too. I think that's
well, Curiosity. He has Curiosity, Curious Obsession, and Staggering Insight. So he's got pants for his dudes.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. He's got a good. I like the deck a lot.
Surprising. It's evasive creatures, tons of card draw, and counter magic. That's basically all he does.
Yeah. And then, his sideboard, Ashiok Dreamrender, you're just a dick. Spell Pierce, Tio. Yeah. And Wanderer, because, why not?
Mhm.
And-
I like the Wanderer
too.
because it shuts off burn.
Yep.
And
he's
it shuts
played-
off Cavalcade.
Speaking of, damage, he's playing Get Bonked, who's playing a kind of, I want to say almost aristocratic type deck. It's
I see mountains. I see mountains and swamps. Flame of Keld. This is burn.
yeah, but
This is a straight up burn deck.
Rakdos burn.
Yeah, it's Rakdos burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we know what's coming in after game one with this one. Holy
Yeah.
moly. This one basically, the only creature in the deck is the electrostatic field. This is basically, I'm going to melt your face. Kill me before I do that.
Right.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's basically, if it's a creature, I'm going to burn it. If it's your face, I'm going to burn it. If it's got protection from red, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Sovereign Spite, so I guess that could be something.
Well, Serrated Scorpion is a black creature, so he's good there.
It is, yeah, but it's only a 1/2.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got Teo too in his sideboard for hexproof.
If I was gonna go though, I think Steve's got the
Steve's got the matchup edge on this one. He's got the sideboard tools to really shut this down.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be a one to watch though. That could be fun.
Steve might have issues on game one. He might get burned out game one if he's not fast enough. But if he doesn't get like a staggering insight early, but after sideboarding, I mean, Steve definitely has the advantage here.
Well, what's nice is that we are, I should tell everybody, yes, we've got players that are in this tournament watching this. This is not the only time they get the deck list. We are sending it to them. So people are going to be ready for, they're going to kind of know what to expect. It is going to help on how they mulligan, things of that nature. So, we
wanted to give everybody the most information possible to give everyone the best chance possible.
So I think Bonked is going to get bonked on this one. But
yeah, I think the old advantage arrow has to go towards Steve on this one. But like I said, I think game one, I would not be surprised at all if get
it'll
bonked
go to 3. Yeah.
Fries him.
Yeah. So let's move on. We've got our latest patron, Brian. He is running in with, it looks like 5 color.
This is Jund.
Jund, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
This is Jund.
Jund Funness, apparently.
Yeah, it's basically it's Jund. It's straight up Jund. Looks like there's some Death Touch creature. Okay,
I would call it mid range.
This is Jund Death Touch basically. So he's running with Vraska's Swarm's Eminence.
Oh, he's telling us it's Porcupine Death Touch is what he calls it.
Yeah, because the Porcupine, I was wondering what the Porcupine was for. And then I saw the Death Touch creatures. So the burn deck would be good against him because there's no creatures in the deck.
Right.
Wow. So creatures aren't going to survive very long against this deck.
No.
Domri's Ambush. Oh, yeah. 4 Thrashing Bronodons in the main was very interesting. I like that.
This is it's a pretty good deck.
I like that he's maxed. The only issue that I see is that he has 12 tap lands in his deck. So this deck is not looking to get out of the gate super fast.
No.
Nearly half his mana is tap land. So he's going to run into a game where he has like 2 or 3 tap lands right off the bat, and he's going to have to mulligan that hand because he's not going to do anything for like 3 turns.
Right.
And against certain decks, I don't know we'll see what his matchup is, but against certain decks, that's you're dead.
And he's right. You mutate the Porcupine onto a Death Touch onto it, it instant kills. I totally get it. That's a beautiful combo. Well, let's see what Jason's running. He's playing up against Jason. Jason is running
Mono Black Devotion.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Mono Black Devotion looks like.
Yeah. Oh God, Brian, I want to say, yeah, you got that. Oh.
You better hope that Gray Merchant of Asphodel.
Yeah. Just you need to get Gray out of there somehow.
Well, if he gets the Porcupine online.
Yeah.
And he can somehow maybe get some counters on it, so the Heartless Act doesn't straight up kill it. And it gets around Eldest Reborn.
But he's running 2 cast downs. He's running 2 cries. Yeah.
Well, luckily the Porcupine's bigger than the cry.
Yeah.
He can chalupa it.
But he's got 2 Chupacabras. He's got Yarx Fenlurker. He's got some ways to deal with this.
This is going to be interesting. It's going to
be very interesting.
It's each going to depend on what half of their respective deck they draw. If Brian draws all his tap lands, he's screwed. if Jason doesn't draw his removal, he's screwed.
Right.
This is a good matchup. This one
I
could go either way.
I think the arrow goes a little bit to Jason on sideboard.
Only and I think for the mana base, it's a little easier for him since he's mono black. So he never has to worry about color screw.
No.
He's playing 24 lands, so flood might be an issue, but he'll have more consistency with his draws with that, and I think that might be that'll give him the edge.
The other thing is this. I mean, here's the thing. Margrave's deck here is expensive. Okay, Chupacabra is a 4-drop. Gray is what, a 5?
Gray's a 5.
So I mean, his goal is to kind of keep you not doing much early on. Aramis is right. If you can get the Porcupine out, you've got a good shot to do some serious damage to him.
The problem is he's got Duress, Agonizing Remorse, and Yarok's Fenlurker to rip apart your hand.
Yeah, the Duresses in the main is going to be the bitch. He can't get rid of a creature at least, but then he knows what's coming. He's gonna.
Well, Agonizing Remorse and Fenlurker can get rid of creatures.
Yeah, that's true. And the Eldest Reborn.
Yeah, and the Fenlurker is you don't get to pick what card gets exiled, but it's exiling the card. Same with Agonizing Remorse. So if he hits the Porcupine, it's gone.
Yeah. It's an interesting. I kind of want to see, beyond just the whole patron thing. I mean, I love Gruul. I really do. And Jund, I love those colors a lot, and I'd like to see, but I just it's hard to.
I think the mono black deck has a bit of an advantage here.
It's hard to beat that devotion period. Yeah,
I mean, luckily there's not like an Ayara in there, because then that would be totally game over.
Right.
And that's rare, so it can't be. But Gray Merchant might be the wild card here, or maybe even the Archfiend's Vessel.
Right.
Come back with a 5/5 flyer, and if he can keep the Porcupine from coming online. So I see the combo. Kaya's Ghost Form with Archfiend Vessel. I see the combo.
Right. Well, let's get into. I mean, we got to start. Like we're all right. Anthony is playing Nick here. Anthony's running
mono blue. Mono blue tempo. So that's another mono blue tempo deck.
I like that he's running the Trickster though. I love Trickster.
That's the original one to basically disrupt. Oh, that's a big guy you got there. Yeah, no abilities.
Essence Capture. That's gonna stop the flyers. I don't know that I'd run Trickster in the main, because if it's not running keywords and you're playing uncommon, common.
Well, it doesn't matter. It takes off everything.
His sideboard looks pretty good. Again, Torment Script, because you gotta have it.
I like the Narset as against the cycling decks.
Yeah. And he's playing against, it looks like another Izzet spell deck.
Another Izzet deck, yeah. So we've seen a few Izzet decks. We've seen a few Azorius and mono blue decks. This one is, it's Enigma Drake based, so it's and Crackling Drake. So this is a little more traditional.
Izzet Drakes is what I guess we could call
it. This is exactly Izzet Drakes.
Yeah. With
the Sprite Dragon. So you got 2, 3, and 4 drop flyers that all care about non-creature spells being cast. So.
Yeah, this is a Beacon Bolt. I love that card. Discovery Dispersal. Yeah, this isn't bad. I'm gonna lean towards Anthony, I think. It's hard to beat mono blue tempo.
It's a little faster, but I think Nick's deck has the more explosive. It can hit you for 12.
Well, early Sprite Dragon, you're gonna have a problem.
I mean, if the Drake, if he curves out, if Nick curves out, he can very easily take him down.
Yeah. So, probably Nick might have a better shot than Anthony. I guess you're right.
It's a good matchup, though. I like it.
I'm liking all the matchups so far. We're so far it's been pretty. We've been pretty lucky as far as how how everything fell. So, let me see here. Just as we're going along, I'm actually going ahead and fixing it so that we can see it on the screen. David is next. Cobra Strike. He's in our chat right now. He is running a mono white.
Orzhov life gain.
Oh, Orzhov life gain. Oh, shite.
He's got the life gain triggers with the Pride Mates.
Yeah.
He's got the life gain triggers with the Bloodthirsty Aerialists.
Interesting. Daybreak Chaplain.
Daybreak Chaplain. Yeah. Well, that's just I think 1/3 lifelinker for 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got lifelink galore. I'm
wonder why he didn't run the Fountain.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have the Indulging Patrician in the main.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Or even the Griffin Airy. to get some value out of. If you gain a bunch of life, you get a Griffin.
Cobra, if you're still in the chat, man, let us know what you're thinking on that one.
It's aggressive as hell, though. I mean, we all know how crazy big a Johnny's Pride Mate can get if you have a little bit of life gain to back it up.
And on the other side of it, he's playing a cycle deck. So
that the incidental life gain might be the difference in this deck.
Yep.
Because if he can keep his head above water, Zenith Flare's not going to be able to do enough damage. Although it can do 15 to 20 damage on its own.
Yeah, I mean he has to deal with Zenith Flare. I don't know.
He's
the
got
Wanderer.
the Wanderer.
The Wanderer.
He's got the Wanderer in his sideboard.
Oh.
So Mark would have to counter with holding onto Banishing Lights for specifically the Wanderer. So that's where knowing the deck list really comes into play.
Yeah, because that's
He also has Cast Out in the main. He's got Cast Out and Banishing Light. So he's got plenty of ways to deal with a Wanderer if it comes down. So that would be David's whole game plan, is to somehow protect the Wanderer or just to kill Mark before he can get that online.
Yeah. Who are you thinking?
I like the cycling deck.
I do too.
I like the cycling deck. I think it's got enough answers, and I think it can keep up with the life gain.
Yeah, you're probably not. I don't know. It's
going to depend on if he's going to have to get Adrenith Stinger early.
Yes.
He's going to have a Zenith Flare to close it out. And he's going to, although again, with the cycling deck, the whole thing is ripping through your deck so fast that you can find these cards. He shouldn't have an issue finding them. I think it's just going to be a matter of, does he do it?
Right.
Excuse me.
So moving on, we've got Walter, and he's going to be playing up against Terrence. Walter looks to be playing another Golgari deck.
Yep.
This one seems a little bit more
Golgari
stable.
Oven. Golgari Cat Oven.
Yeah. Interesting.
Revenge of Ravens. Revenge of Ravens is a nice anti-aggro card. Especially if it's a kind of a go wide strategy. And Bastion of Remembrance, if my stuff dies, you that and the Blood Artist. So anytime something dies, he can deal up to 3 damage if it's a cat.
Right. And on the other side,
on a stick.
He's got Terrence playing basically looks like green white enchantments, Selesnya enchantments.
Yep, Selesnya enchantments. He's got Siona, Captain of the Peleus. So
Hansera's Wings. I love that card.
Yep. Hey, that was the card in the 52-1 match.
Shut the frack up. We don't discuss the 52. You got to discuss your 52-1 already, sir. You already
it's
got
the first time it's shown up since we talked about it. I get to mention it.
I still, man, and people are sleeping on that horse, man. I want. If I was playing this, I would have tried to put the. Well, you can't because he's rare, but
that's a mythic.
Yeah. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, the Crusted Sunmare.
Yeah, I love that crusted.
That's a mythic. Yeah.
But looking at it, yeah.
This one definitely misses the Setessan Champion, though.
Yeah, it does, and
just too bad, but that's a rare.
So, I mean, he's running Return to Nature in his sideboard. He's running Pacifism. I mean, he's running enough remote. Ixalan's Binding is pretty good, too.
That could be good, yeah.
Actually, I'm surprised that's not in more decks in the sideboard, because then I would, hey, you can't cast that. If I was to pick a winner on this one, I mean, Walt's got a lot of ramp.
Yeah.
And he's got ways to do direct damage and stuff, but I don't know,
Mana's not going to be an issue with him.
No.
With Walt's deck. Terrence's deck is
going to have mana problems a bit, but
it could, but it's got the scrying with the Seasons of Growth.
Yeah.
So early Healer's Hawk, slap a couple of put an all.
It comes down on who's winning the early game. The Sentinel's Eyes being able to recurve that out of the graveyard.
Yeah, it's going to be the first 2 or 3 turns of each game that's going to determine if anybody start missing land drops. That's going to be it.
Yeah, because that's insane. Yeah, I guess I'm going to lean towards. Well, I never like to vote against Walter. So.
Yeah, I'm going to abstain on this one.
Hold on a second.
I do like the one God's Willing in his deck is kind of a gotcha.
Yeah, hold on a second. I guess something's happening here. There we go. Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly obvious. Yeah, so far these decks, all of these decks are just, they're doing some really fun, crazy.
Well, what I've noticed is all the decks so far are pretty aggressive. I think, except for
Yeah.
maybe one or two of them. They've all been on the aggressive side. So
Well,
these
I don't
these
know.
look
I
to be
think the
some
mono
fast
blue
games.
tempo decks are a little, you know.
They can still go fast. I mean, I remember how quickly those can get out of hand. I'm actually surprised nobody ran the unblockable Merfolk or Slither Blades, because
Yeah.
that was the big thing, is that it was unblockable. So you just slap all the enchantments on that and start going to town.
So Brian is playing obviously another cycle deck. I think this is our third and last cycle deck. Pretty, I like that he's running Splendor Mare. I'm kind of cool with that one. It's an interesting little flavorful.
Yeah, he could put a lifelink counter on his Stinger.
Yeah. So
Or on the Flourishing Fox, so it's a gigantic lifelinking creature.
And he's playing Cody. So Cody's running more of a
Cody's running kind of a Pyromancer deck.
Yeah, he's kind of running a red white another is it?
This is Grixis.
Oh, you're right. I didn't see the black.
Yeah, he's running Grixis. So this is like a Grixis kind of a Grixis control.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah, Lightning Axe, Duress, Divest, Spell Pierce, Shock,
Wow.
Claim to Fame.
This is interesting.
This is Grixis spells with Saheeli. And then Narset in the main. Narset in the main against the cycling deck.
But he's right about one thing. Steve just brought it up. He has a lot of tap lands.
And that is the drawback with playing a lot of colors. Is you have to rely on the tap lands to keep your mana consistent, and the price for that is they come into play tapped.
Right.
I like that he has the jumpstart lands in there, because those are they can sort of fix for whatever color you're actually missing, instead of saying, well, I need this one instead.
Right. I wish those were actually, I wish the jumpstart lands were actually, standard legal in a lot of ways. I mean, jumpstart lands are really good.
Yeah.
I think because of the mana base, I got to give it to Brian on this one. Again, we're talking about the damn cycle deck, and the cycle deck makes you pay if you take too long.
Well, the thing is, again, though, he has Narset in the main, Cody. So
Yeah.
Narset shuts down really a lot. Like, he'll get the cycling triggers, but he won't draw any extra cards.
Right.
So that he'll run out of gas.
Yeah.
If he can drop in Narset and protect it, Cody can grind him out. That'll be the key. If he can drop an early Narset and protect it. If he can't do that, then Brian's just gonna wear him out.
Scott's running. We got Scott playing Jake. Scott is running another mono blue tempo, and it's kind of the one we've seen.
A couple different cards.
I
here
like
and there,
Quench
for the most part.
being in there. Oh, by the way, this is something
Quench.
we have to talk about. Do you think the gate will be an M21, or is it rotating?
Or you think,
Or Zendikar Rising, I mean. Negate was not an M21. Dude, if it's not in Zendikar Rising, it rotates.
what they'll probably do is they'll probably keep Essence Scatter. No, he thinks it's going to be in Zendikar.
It's got to be in Zendikar, I would think.
You would think
don't
it is. I mean,
you
it's a
cannot
pretty
have Negate.
standard counterspell.
Yeah. But it's just something to think about. Yeah, this is a pretty good mono blue deck. I like Lazotep plating. I like Lazotep plating better than Dive Down. I know you pay the extra colorless for it, but I like the fact that it makes it hexproof and it gives me another body. I've always been a big fan of that.
But the only problem with that is that since it does cost 2 mana, it's a little harder to keep that mana open in a deck that's starved on lands to begin with, and you're going to be tapping out most turns. So being able to keep 2 lands back. And I'm also not a huge fan of Quench, because after a couple of turns, I mean, it's a gotcha counterspell, definitely, because there's only 1 copy.
Right.
And I guess in that respect, it's okay, but
It's meant for his early game.
it's so easy to play around.
Yeah. Jake, on the other hand, is running... he's running...
Elementals.
Yeah.
Teamer Elementals.
Is there mountains? Oh, yeah, it's Teamer Elementals.
Yep, he got the Risen
Interesting
Race.
idea to
Or
do
more
this
like
as
Teamer
a...
ramp.
Interesting idea to do this in uncommons.
It can be done. I mean, it's all the Vine Mare. That's an elemental horse. So yeah, this is elementals.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know. I would have thought he probably would have tried to. I wonder if he tried to put the uncommon Shandi in there.
No, he's got Zendikar's Royal instead.
Yeah,
which is much better because you're going to get a bunch of lands off the Risen Reef.
All right. So if we're
Overcome is his kill card.
Yeah, obviously. if you're thinking about it, okay, Scott or Jake?
Looking at it blind, I'm gonna say Jake only because he can overwhelm you with things. He's got the ramp to do that. If he doesn't run into any mana issues, and can like land an early Risen Reef or even an early Zendikar's Royal, he can just start generating value like crazy. Zendikar's Royal is basically Field of the Dead.
True. And by the way, Field of the Dead is not allowed in this tournament.
Right. Because think about that. He plays Zendikar's Royal, has at least one Risen Reef out, plays a land, gets an Elemental, which triggers the Risen Reef, which gets a land, which gets an Elemental, which triggers the Risen Reef, which gets a land, which triggers the Risen Reef, which triggers the... It's disgusting. If he keeps hitting land like that, he can get 5 or 6 creatures out for 0 mana.
Right. So you're thinking Jake.
I'm gonna give the edge to Jake. I'm not gonna say it's a runaway. I think 3 games, but I think Jake can do it.
All right, interesting idea here. I think I'm gonna go with you on that too. I think Jake's got just a little bit more, I think the problem with the mono blue tempo in common and uncommon is not having the big finisher of the Tempest Djinn.
Yeah, because it only ever played the one rare basically,
yeah.
and that was the Djinn.
So let's move on. We've just got a couple more to do here. We've got Seth, who's going to be going up against Joseph. Seth is playing, it looks like Dimir Super Friends. This is the deck you were excited about.
I am excited about this deck. This deck looks like it's just a blast. It's got, it's got Kasmina, Narset, Davriel, Ashiok, Saheeli. I mean, that's just Nebraska. So it's got a ton of Planeswalkers. It's got the Interplanar Beacon to gain some life. It's got Thought Erasures, Cast Downs, Heartless Acts. So it's a control deck for sure. It's not playing any creatures in the main from what I can see. No. So a lot of
Kasmina will create him the creatures.
Kasmina makes creatures, Vraska makes creatures, Saheeli makes creatures, but he's not playing them in the main.
No, it's a
recurable thing.
Right. And I don't think he has any in the side.
The only thing I would say this deck might be missing would be a way to proliferate.
Yeah.
I mean, if he played like one creature, like the
what the heck was that uncommon that was in
the blue one? Yeah,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Seth, he was playing a couple copies of those every time.
Seth, we do like this deck though. Yeah, both of us were like, "Ooh, this is flavorful as hell."
Yeah,
I mean, do I think you're gonna win? Man,
I mean, he's got more Planeswalkers in the
you're facing
too.
Yeah, but you're facing Azorius Flyers.
Well, let's see. Cry of the Carnarium.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got board sweepers. He's got ways to pinpoint remove pretty much anything that he has. The hardest card for him to deal with would probably the God's Willing is going to be an issue.
Yeah,
but if he can get that out of his hand with the negates, either counter it or get it with Davriel's or the Thought Erasures.
Yep.
I think it's going to come down to what half of the deck Seth draws. If he draws nothing but like removal spells and no Planeswalkers, he's not going to be able to get there.
I think you wanted to go with 4 Thought Erasures. I'm kind of amazed that you went with only 2.
It's for the mana consistency.
True, I get it.
Because because having to have blue black on turn 2 is a little harder to do
without rares. I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get that on turn 2.
I mean, Sean's deck, I mean, it's a standard Azorius Flyers, again, with all the glitters, which I fracking love. Except he did throw Ginger Brutes in there. Everybody's kind of going for that little hasty, and he put Narset 4 of them in the main.
Well, it's a semi-unblockable 1/1 haste creature, and if you could slap all that glitters, he counts itself for the buff.
Right.
It's going to depend on what part of the deck Seth draws. If he doesn't draw his interaction, he'll get overrun.
Yeah, Seth has to get to the mid game. Steve's absolutely right.
Yeah, if he can survive the initial rush, he should be okay.
Because, I mean, those Planeswalkers doing crazy stuff every turn.
Yeah.
Narset giving you card advantage. Unless he gets his Narset down, then, well, this guy... No, wait, it still counts. Yeah, you can still use
Narset. It's a Narset war, yeah. It's not a draw. And I think he has a way to deal with opposing Narsets.
Right. So, moving on, we've got Joseph.
And he doesn't.
Yeah. Joe is playing Michael. Joe is running a mono blue. Oh, no. Is it
Drake's?
Is it Drake's? I like that he's running Shivan Fire. I just love that card.
It's a versatile removal spell. Kill something small early and something big later.
Yeah. He is running 8 tap lands.
That's going to run it. He could run into a problem with that, but again, it's going to depend on what he draws. I like his opponent's deck.
Oh, yeah.
Michael. He's playing Selesnya. It looks like Proliferate.
Yep.
+1/+1 counters and Proliferate. He's got Huatley's Raptor. He's got Pollen Bright Druid. Evolution Sage.
Conclave Mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Proliferate deck. Ugin's Conjurant, too. I like that.
It's going to be the early game, and I think
a lot of aggressive decks, and that's what it's going to be. Who gets screwed on mana?
I think Mike's got the edge on this. Very, very. Again, it comes to, and his sideboard: Sealaways, Wanderers, Conclaves in the sideboard, Return to Nature. Yeah. I'm gonna go.
There's no like obvious blowouts here.
No, nothing so far has been like, oh, this guy's gonna roll with it. Let's get to our final matchup. We have King playing Jean. So King is running another Izzet Pyromancer deck.
Yep,
but he's running Thermo Alchemist.
Yes. Passive damage.
Yeah, I kind of dig that. I like the flavor in this deck. And a Memorial to Genius. So.
And Secrets of the Golden City. That's a card you have not seen at all since
No.
Ixalan Limited.
So I'm a big fan of that. John is running, looks like another Orzhov Life Gain deck.
This is kind of Orzhov Enchantments.
Okay, not so much life.
Not so much life. I mean, it's got some life linking on there, but this is this is sort of like an Orzhov aggro deck. Sort of slap some stuff onto an Adanto Vanguard.
Yeah, he's trying to
gain enough life.
Yep.
That you can keep paying the 4 life to keep it indestructible.
Interesting matchup. A
lot of 1-drops too.
Yeah, I think I got to go with King on this one though.
Passive damage and the tokens from the Pyromancer are going to be pretty big. And there's no mass removal from.
Doesn't look like it.
From John's deck.
He's got dead weight to take care of spot removal, but nothing that's gonna.
And no board wipes.
No.
So I think it'll be a close matchup though, because I think John has the ability to gain a lot of life again, which might keep a lot of that damage in check. And Adanto Vanguard can do a lot of work. And he's got 2 Apostles of Purifying Light in the main.
So that is our event. So we are very excited about this. Like I said, be looking on Twitch. Look up PlanesTalkers, and again, I'm gonna make sure that they know about this in Discord if they're streaming their match to make sure, and I'll have them let us know. If we know about it, we'll try to put it on the Facebook or something. We'll try to share it. But I'm very excited for this event. I'm digging this event. The winner of this event gets a free box of Zendikar Rising from Kerwin's Game Store. So again, special thank you to our sponsor, Kerwin's. There's some flavor in this. I'm very happy with how this went out. We should talk spoilers on Commander Craft. No, we're gonna play Commander on Commander Craft. You want to be a part of the spoiler podcast? Well, you're a $5 patron. We can make that happen. Maybe we'll have Steve as a guest star next week. Who knows? We've talked about this. So, but what do you think, Aramis? We've seen all the decks. Like, start to wrap her up a bit.
I mean, I really, because I'm a control player, I really want that Planeswalker deck to do well. I want that Super Friends deck to do well. I mean, it's going to be hard because of the mana, but I really like the way that deck looks. I like the Golgari Reanimator deck that was there. The cycling decks could, be consistent because it's cycling decks, but it's a very aggressive tournament. So I think if someone has a way to keep their head above water, survive the initial surges of their opposing decks, and they don't get color screwed or mana screwed, those are going to be the decks that really survive. It's going to be surviving the first 3 or 4 turns and stabilizing and being able to come back from that, hoping your opponent runs out of gas.
Yep. Hold on, I'm just setting it up so that the link is set up correctly here, because I'm just putting it now in the Discord. And like I said, we're going to be emailing that out. So,
so keep an eye on your email, guys. You'll get the deck list.
And that means it's official. You know what? Screw it. We're not even. I'm going to send it out, but you know what? Let's just say it right now. We're live. You want to play around? Play around. We are live. You have 7 days.
So by showtime on next Monday, hopefully you guys have all your first round matches in. And like the last tournament went by pretty quickly, so I don't really think there's going to be an issue with everybody getting their games in.
So, but that's it. You are now live, so feel free to reach out to your opponents. The deck lists are out there. Get bonked. Dude, all the information, if you're playing this event, all the information, the arena IDs as well as their Discord IDs are in the deck lists. So I tried to keep those off the screen just to, keep some things. But yeah, they're in the deck list. So, and there's a rules link, and you go to this the sheet page there, and you can even see the deck list for the person you're fighting. You just click on them, and you can find their deck list. So, I hope that helps. I'm very excited. Dude, I'm so excited. This is so great, man.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, but we're wicked over. We're already like 120. So let's go ahead and get right into. So both Aramis and I want to remind you that we do stream Arena as well as this show and any other show we do, as well as Commander Craft, on the PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch. Look up PlanesTalkers podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch at MindCrime73.
And you can also follow me on Twitch at RMECWRX, although most of the things that I stream are going to be on the main PlanesTalkers podcast channel. But that's my personal Twitch, RMECWRX. If you want to follow the show through Twitter, if that's more your speed, you can find our show at PlanesTalkerPod on Twitter.
And my personal Twitter is at WR Benson. Now, listen, I don't tweet very often. Really, I use it just to kind of lurk on other people's Twitters. Like, I'm a big fan of lurking on Nelson's Twitter. The band from the 90s with those two twin brothers with the long blonde hair, and they were kind of lame. I love that band. They're like my favorite band next to David Hasselhoff. So I'm like their biggest fan. I follow them. I've been on tour. I'm a Nelson head. I wear a blonde wig. It's amazing. But you can always check out my Twitter. It's at WR Benson. And we also want to remind you guys that we play on Wednesday nights. We have a second event. We call it Commander Craft. It's paper magic. So if you have a Commander deck and a cell phone with Zoom on it, you're welcome to be a part of it. Obviously, patrons first, but after that, usually would bring anybody in. We don't really check if you're a patron. But if you want to be a part of that, let us know. Just reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/PlanesTalker. No S on the end because we saved the last S for savings. But that's always Wednesday nights at around 7:30-ish is when we try to play Eastern time. So love to have somebody there. It's always me, Aramis, Steve, and Anthony, and then usually a rotating cabal of guests. So we would love it. And Steve he's right. We have filthy mouths there because usually Steve is a damn pain in my ass. But moving on. And don't forget, our Discord can be found now at discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Guys, that's a great community. Like, there are a ton of people in there. We're always talking. We're always joking around. Guys are putting deck lists up there. People are hitting Mythic and taking screenshots, but it's not like the other Facebook groups on Arena where we'll make fun of you for that shit. We're kind of proud of you. So come and check it out, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com.
And finally, if you want to send us an email, let us know how the show is doing. If you have an idea for the show, or if you just want to drop a line and see how we're doing, you can.
And by the way, if you do have an idea for the show, if you mail it, print it out on a $100 bill, I guarantee you will pay attention to it.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good way to get noticed. Send it to my address, which
yes, it's your address is not my address.
Yeah,
though.
just send me a private message on my anyway.
Is this because I get the Patreon money?
No.
Oh, okay.
But finally, if you want to send us an email for any reason, just to check in, our address is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com.
And I do host another podcast. It deals with the DC television show Legends of Tomorrow. It's called Legends TV Talk. Check it out. We're doing a lot of Minecraft right now. So it's called Flashcraft because we're building stuff in the DC universe inside Minecraft. We just finished the Hall of Justice. We're starting the Legion of Doom, and I've built my base, which is, this is very applicable to the DC universe. I built the X Mansion because, why not?
Such a nerd.
I really am. But definitely check it out. Love to have you guys there again. It's Legends TV Talk. And again, Commander Craft, Wednesday night. It's a lot of fun. If you're not going to play, you should definitely tune in and just hang out with us. It's a whole lot of fun. We basically get our asses beat by Steve unless we all gang up on him. So it's really worthwhile to come on over. But with that, we're going to start ourselves out of here. We want to thank you guys for listening to us tonight, letting us go a little bit over. We're very excited about this event. We want to remind you we will be back next Monday night, right around the 7 or 8 o'clock hour, to talk more about standard and historic.
Zendikar previews.
We'll have Zendikar previews coming out our nose. Maybe we'll have a guest seat. Who knows? But for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying again, thank you for being listeners. Thank you for hanging with us. And reminding you to remember to always leave some of your mana untapped because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye. One hour and 25 minutes.
Longest episode ever, but you know what? It was chock full of stuff.
Oh, that was good. Well, you know what? That's just it. It's historic stuff. So if people want to learn about, historic, like this is a good way to get deck lists. So
sort of, yeah. Although it's artisan, so you're missing on all the really powerful stuff.
Yeah, but that's the point. So what is this episode?
Could you imagine that mono black deck could have played Phyrexian Obliterator?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jason's got a good shot at going far. That mono black devotion is kind of stupid and annoying, and
I don't think there's really a clear favorite. It really is a free for all. So I'm really hoping for some good matches. Hopefully you guys don't get salty.
No salt. No salt. Damn it.
No salt.
We all have heart problems. We're old. No salt.
So
I mean, I thought we were going to have salt this weekend. We deciding on who got the bye. It was like, oh, wait a second, everybody chill the hell out. Like.
It's all good. It's
going
all good.
Sideways. I'm like, oh shit.
It worked out in the end.
Yeah, it did, and I think it worked out for the best. I think people are definitely digging it. Yeah. And I think again, the buy doesn't help. Like, we gave the buy to 6 of our patrons and then 2 others, and I think Trayton was the only one who won. Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, the buy does not bode well. It's kind of the kiss of death.
Actually, it's like playing. It's like getting your picture on the Madden there.
Oof.
Yeah, right.
Oof.
Oof.
Although, Peyton, not Peyton, Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good season last year.
He did.
Having his face on
What do you think's going to happen with football this year?
I think it's going to be fine for a while, and then probably mid-season crash and burn.
That's why I didn't put together a fantasy league. I was kind of like, you know what? I'm just not even going to. Because fantasy, I don't know how you deal with it. Like, you'd have to be like, what? How do you decide who wins? Do you give everybody their money back? It's like, I just don't need the drama.
Yeah, it's a real big unknown, and so
yeah,
I'm going to try to just enjoy the games for what they are this season. And not do fantasy. Next season, hopefully things are close enough to what they were, so that we don't have to worry about massive shutdowns again. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting year. I'm excited.
Interesting is not the word I'd use. Horse shit to be more like it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, inside of a dumpster fire that got hit by a bunch of dead bodies.
Oh, I forgot to create the email with all the addresses. God, this could take me like 20 minutes.
Oh God.
I know. I should have been like, just check the Discord. You're all in Discord. Just go to Discord. But I'll send the email because I said I'd send the email.
Yeah. It's always better to be thorough.
Yeah. So I gotta remember to take the cat though who didn't
right, take him off.
Yeah, because that would be weird.
There are some very sweet deck lists out there. I'm really looking forward to seeing who comes out on top on this one.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it. So you guys in the chat room, I hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of you guys, this is like probably your first time checking it out because they found us like from this. So hope we were entertaining.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Never mind.
Yeah, we don't need any copyright strikes.
Yeah, and dude, it happened again this time. Like, it took us a while to get like the deck lists up and stuff. People were like, "Oh man, can I make a change to my deck?" And I'm like, "No,
yeah,
I'm not doing that this time." Last time it was, oh my god, it was everybody every 6 minutes was making a change to their deck list. I was like, no.
Yeah, because I think what happens with some players is that they put the deck list together and they look at it and say, "Hey, this looks great," and they start to play it and they go, "Oh, this doesn't work."
Yeah. Well, I mean, plan for whatever the hell the next set is. I mean, that won't be till January probably, or is it usually February?
What?
The next
set
set
after this one?
Yeah.
January.
Okay. So, but that we'll have another winter box. So. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how people do. You know, I do want to call a few matches, if we can.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I kind of got the itch when we did the modern tournament.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
That was a blast.
Oh yeah,
that was the most fun I've ever had at a Magic event. Not playing Magic.
Right. I would do it again. I think we would have done it by now. I think they would have brought us back.
I would like to think so.
Yeah. So, I gotta do my pre-order for my ZR box soon. What you're getting the player box, right?
I'm getting the set boosters.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You said it was what, an extra $20?
It was an extra $40. So instead of $99.99, it was $139.99.
Okay.
And then the code and all that, and I'm picking it up, so I'm not having to pay shipping.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll probably do that too because I want to pick it up during.
I believe it's still 36 boosters. It's just fewer cards in the box.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And after if you open more than one or two boxes, you have so many extra commons floating around. So I'm thinking this will reduce that, and I'll still get more rares and foils.
I mean, we get one box, you and I, so
yeah.
I'm just going through and putting the email together now. Did your stuff download?
Yes, I do have to clear some space at Dropbox. So I said it was almost full.
I gotta check that. It's actually probably my fault. I probably have to do it because I keep a lot of your stuff up there. Because again, my son got a new computer, so I got a free year of like Super Dropbox, and I'm like, yeah. And now I'm like, shite, because that should be coming due in like November. So, but he wasn't gonna use it. He's like, I don't use this. I get free storage from college. I'm like, done.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Right. All right. Let me.
You
see.
should have mine now.
Okay. And mine just got onto my Mac. I'm putting together the deck list. I want to get the audio up because I didn't realize this. Like, we have people that are like, it's Tuesday. It's not on Spotify. I'm like, oh, okay, calm down. Relax.
Yeah. And we can't sit on it anymore.
No, it's like, damn, people. And I got to go in. I actually have to edit it. I got to go to the 22-minute mark and pull that little bit out. But that's okay. It'll be cool. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. So Wednesday we're playing Commander.
Yes.
Anything else going on that we need to?
No, I mean, just I'll be watching the video stream tomorrow. I'll be texting you as soon as the first crazy thing comes on.
Well, that's good because I may not be if I'm sitting at my desk. That's cool. One of the students came back. One of our favorites is back on center now. So
nice.
I'm very excited. He's still in quarantine. They're going to keep him in quarantine for 2 weeks.
That makes sense.
But I may try to play. I'm thinking about trying to do students on Friday. See if we want to do a little bit of gaming. So if you're around.
It's usually tricky for me on Friday nights, but I could try it. Oh, by the way, more Zendikar rumors since we're not on the show anymore. Apparently, Lotus Cobra is being reprinted.
What?
At Rare.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that is the rumor. So maybe that's why they didn't put birds in, because they knew Lotus Cobra was coming.
that makes sense, but still.
And then there's a non-basic land destruction spell for like 2 mana.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's basically it's an activation of Field of Ruin. It's like 1 in a red, blow up a non-basic, and then search for a basic. Yeah, nice. I heard about the new dual lands. They're like flip lands.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I'm
I don't
not sure
think they
feel
don't have.
them.
They're not fetchable. I don't believe.
No, because they're not titled.
Yeah, they're not going to have land types. So that fixes original duels, makes them not fetchable, which would also make printing the fetches less of an issue. But whatever. Fucking.
I still don't understand. Honestly, they should just go standard.
Yeah, there's two rumors that I've heard with the fetch lands is that they're either going to be in the ancillary slot in collector boosters where they print like the commander crap, or they're going to be the box toppers.
Of the Zendikar?
Yeah. So if you buy a booster box of Zendikar, you get 1 or 2 fetch lands.
Oh, that
which
would be nice.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But these are rumors. It's either that or they're in the collector boosters in the slot that you would get like the Planeswalker deck cards in. It might be a random fetch land.
Notice they haven't been printing Brawl.
No,
I think Brawl is dead
again. Probably. It's too bad though. I mean, because it's an arena. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I do dislike Planeswalkers as commanders because you have to devote so many resources to kill them, and then they just come back and they generate so much value.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a good set. I think we need a good set. I think they need to do something.
It's going to be powerful because this is still during that period before they started making any changes that they had talked about. This set was done a year ago. So when Throne came out, this set was already done. So they designed this set with having Oko, Field of the Dead, Once Upon a Time, all that nonsense legal. So keep that in mind. So I think this set's going to be kind of nuts. Might be 2 or 3 more sets down the road before we see like any of them like toning it back a little bit. If they ever decide to do that, they might just keep going what they're doing because it's regardless of the standard environment, they're selling booster packs.
Wow. All right, let me hold on here. I'm going to get the link I just put into the Discord. And I am going to send this out. I have created the email.
Yay.
Shite.
That's not the word you should be using right now. No shites.
All right. And well, it put the Discord. It made it a Discord link. I'm like, I don't want it to be a Discord link. I want it to be
Yeah,
a Google Doc link.
Oh, thank you.
You now have 1 week to play. Though if you get your game in earlier, we can move on.
Yeah, you might actually be able to move individual brackets forward if a bracket finishes.
No, I didn't want to go that far. I didn't want some people in 3 and some in 2. I realized it could get really unruly after that.
That's fine.
All right, it's sent. All right, we're live. Okay, so we're going to get on out of here, guys. We're going to end the stream now. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, make sure you email us. Otherwise, we're very glad you are here. And we've already got Anonymous. Somebody's already in the deck list, so this is cool. People are in.
Sweet. All right.
All right,
Awesome.
so guys, we will see you next week. We'll see you Wednesday for Commander Craft, and we'll see you for the tournament, guys. So take care. Have a good one.